is to create a University of Alabama license plate, and this is the first hearing. Representative Byrd.
Chair Baldridge, thank you very much. And Chair Baldridge, Vice Chair McLean, Ranking Member Sheehy, and to the other very kind, considerate, compassionate members of the House Transportation and Public Safety Committee, I thank you for the opportunity to provide sponsor testimony for House Bill 220, which would create a University of Alabama specialty license plate. My father, Ron Byrd, was born during World War II in 1942. He was the son of a Boilermaker, and he was the grandson of a carpenter in a small northern Kentucky community in Latonia, Kentucky. He was uninvolved as a middle school student in extracurricular activities, but he was determined to change that in the 8th grade. And so when an announcement was made for students to join the band, he borrowed the family saxophone and brought it to school the next day. While looking for the band room, he got lost and wound up in the locker room. And so the coaches encouraged him to stay and join the football team. And despite the fact that they wore a leather helmet and had no face mask, his mom allowed him to play anyway. His high school football success allowed him to be recruited by Paul Bear Bryant and attended the University of Alabama on a football scholarship. And in his senior year, 1964, with Joe Namath as a quarterback, they won the national championship. Since then, he's been a high school teacher and football coach in Ohio for 50 years. He's been inducted into the Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Hall of Fame. He's been inducted into the Ohio High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame in 2007, and you can see that down at Ohio Stadium. During his 50 years of coaching football in Ohio, he's influenced the lives of thousands of young men who have played for him. He's been an example of class, character, sportsmanship, and that football teaches players incalculable lessons in teamwork in life. And I'm introducing this bill in his honor. I grew up in Ohio, and I'm forever an Ohio State football fan. I rooted for OSU this past year in the national championship game. You might recall who they played in that game. But I'm also forever grateful for the educational opportunity that was afforded my father by the University of Alabama and the change that it made in my family's life. His college education led to me and my siblings all being college grads. And all of my children are or will soon be college grads. Education changes lives, and this bill would raise scholarship money that would affect the lives and future of some high school students in Ohio right now. We all know that that Ohio State University and other public and private universities in Ohio attract students from all 50 states, including the state of Alabama, and from countries around the world. Why? Because people know that Ohio is a great place to learn, to live, to grow, and to raise a family. We're still going to have some of our high school grads choose to attend a college outside of Ohio, though, because despite the obvious advantages of attending an Institute of Higher Learning here in Ohio. So several General Assemblies ago, in the 131st General Assembly, this body set the precedent for allowing an out-of-state university on our license plate by approving the license plate for the University of Notre Dame. This bill follows that precedent by permissively allowing individual Ohioans to support higher ed scholarship money through their license plate for an Ohio high school graduate or for graduates who will be attending the University of Alabama. And just like the Notre Dame bill, it allows individual Ohioans to support the cost of higher education at Notre Dame. We know that college is expensive, and this will allow a few more students to get through college with a little less debt. I would encourage my colleagues to see this bill as a way of allowing individual Ohioans to support higher education. This bill is not about athletics or athletic rivalry. Just like important lifelong lessons learned by the football players who played for my father, this bill is about much more than a game. So, Chair Baldridge, Members of the committee, I thank you again for the opportunity to present this bill, and I think I'm willing to take questions.